Ever wondered how a ruler of ancient Rome would handle a toxic person in his life? Stay with me till the end of this video, and you'll uncover not just this, but 13 smart ways you can apply the wisdom of Marcus Aurelius to navigate the challenging folks in your life. Let's start by picturing this. Marcus Aurelius, the Stoic emperor, is in the middle of an intense Senate meeting. He is surrounded by senators, some of whom are not just opposing his ideas but are downright disrespectful. Now, you might think a powerful emperor would simply silence his critics with a command, but Marcus, influenced by Stoicism, chooses a different path. He listens calmly, analyzes the situation, and responds with rationality and patience. This anecdote not only shows his incredible self-control, but also sets the stage for us to explore how we can emulate his strategies in our own lives. Ready to dive in? Let's get started. The definition of toxic people from a Stoic perspective involves understanding their behaviors and the impact these behaviors have on others without judgment. Toxic people are those who consistently exhibit negative traits such as dishonesty, manipulation, and disrespect. They drain others' energy and peace with their actions. From a Stoic viewpoint, toxic individuals lack inner virtue and are often driven by unchecked desires and emotions. They may resort to gossip, criticism, or deceit as a means to mask their own insecurities and internal chaos. A Stoic approach to recognizing toxic people involves observing their actions and responses without attaching emotional labels. This non-judgmental awareness allows you to see their behaviors as reflections of their internal struggles rather than personal attacks. In essence, toxic people are those who are not aligned with the Stoic virtues of wisdom, courage, justice, and temperance. By identifying these traits in others, we can better navigate our interactions and maintain our own inner tranquility, aligning our actions with the Stoic principles of rationality and emotional resilience. The second practice involves embracing the Stoic principle of control. Marcus Aurelius emphasizes the importance of controlling one's own reactions as a key strategy in dealing with toxic individuals. When faced with negativity, it can be easy to react impulsively or emotionally. However, Marcus teaches us that we have the power to choose our responses. By exercising self-control, we can maintain our composure and inner peace regardless of external provocations. For example, if someone insults you, instead of getting angry or retaliating, you can pause, reflect on the situation, and respond calmly or choose not to respond at all. This practice not only disarms the toxic person, but also protects your own mental well-being. Marcus often reminded himself that it is not events themselves that disturb us, but our judgments about them. By controlling our perceptions and reactions, we reclaim our power and prevent others from disrupting our tranquility. This principle is about recognizing that while we cannot control others' actions, we can always control how we respond to them. Implementing this in our daily lives means developing awareness of our automatic reactions and deliberately choosing a response that aligns with our values and principles. It involves practicing patience, mindfulness, and rational thinking. When we master this Stoic discipline, we become less susceptible to the negativity of others and more adept at maintaining our composure in challenging situations. The third practice revolves around not taking the bait. When a toxic person tries to provoke you, it's easy to get caught up in their negativity. Marcus Aurelius would advise us to avoid engaging with these provocations altogether. This means recognizing when someone is trying to elicit a reaction from you and choosing not to give them the satisfaction. Let me give you a humorous example to illustrate this. Imagine you're a fish swimming peacefully in a pond. Along comes this fisherman representing the toxic person, dangling a juicy, tempting worm in front of you. The worm is a provocation, an insult, or a manipulative comment designed to hook you. As a wise fish, you recognize the bait for what it is, a trap. Instead of biting, you simply swim away, leaving the fisherman frustrated and empty-handed. This approach not only saves you from the struggle but also keeps your peace intact. In real life, this means when someone tries to push your buttons, you acknowledge the attempt internally but do not respond outwardly in a reactive manner. By doing this, you maintain control over your emotions and actions, following the Stoic path of rationality and emotional resilience. It's about mastering the art of letting go and not letting others' negative energy disrupt your inner calm. The fourth practice involves building emotional immunity. Marcus Aurelius believed that emotional resilience is a crucial defense against the negativity of toxic people. Emotional immunity means strengthening your inner self so that external negative influences have little to no impact on your peace and well-being. One of the key techniques Marcus advocated for is practicing mental fortitude through daily reflections. Start each day by mentally preparing yourself for potential challenges. Remind yourself that you will encounter individuals who are driven by ignorance, anger, or deceit. By acknowledging this reality, you can brace yourself against any emotional ambushes. Another powerful technique is cultivating an inner dialogue filled with compassionate reasoning. When faced with someone's toxic behavior, instead of reacting negatively, ask yourself, why might this person be acting this way? Often, understanding that their behavior stems from their own struggles can foster empathy rather than resentment. Marcus also encouraged focusing on what is within your control. By directing your energy towards your own thoughts and actions, you create a buffer against negative emotions triggered by external circumstances. For example, if someone criticizes you unfairly rather than internalizing their negativity, reflect on whether there is any constructive feedback you can take from their comments. If not, let it go, understanding that their opinion is beyond your control. Another technique is reframing your perspective. When something upsetting happens, try to view it from a different angle. Marcus often suggested considering the worst-case scenario and recognizing that even the worst outcome is often not as catastrophic as our initial emotional response might suggest. This helps in reducing the emotional weight of the situation. Additionally, grounding techniques can be invaluable in moments of high stress. Practices like deep breathing, meditation, or even a brief walk can help center your mind and reduce the immediate emotional impact of a toxic encounter. By building these habits, you create a resilient mental framework that can withstand negativity. Lastly, Marcus emphasized the importance of a strong support system. Surround yourself with individuals who share similar values and offer constructive, positive reinforcement. This network acts as a counterbalance to the toxicity you may encounter, reminding you of your worth and helping to maintain your emotional health. All these techniques combined help fortify your emotional immunity, making you less vulnerable to the negative influences of toxic people and more aligned with the Stoic virtues of rationality, wisdom, and inner peace. The fifth practice involves setting boundaries. Protecting your mental and physical space is crucial when dealing with toxic individuals. Marcus Aurelius teaches us the importance of maintaining our inner peace, and one effective way to achieve this is by establishing clear boundaries. When we allow others to encroach on our personal space or dictate our emotional responses, we give away our power. Therefore, it is essential to define and communicate your limits assertively. For example, if someone constantly interrupts your peace with negative comments or demands, calmly but firmly let them know what behavior you find unacceptable and the consequences if it continues. This might sound challenging at first, but remember that setting boundaries is not about controlling others. It's about taking control of your own life and well-being. One practical tip is to use I statements when conveying your boundaries. Instead of saying, "You always do this," say, "I feel uncomfortable when this happens." This approach reduces defensiveness and places the focus on your needs. Additionally, give yourself permission to say no without guilt. Often, we feel obliged to accommodate others at the expense of our own happiness. Marcus Aurelius reminds us that our primary duty is to ourselves and our own tranquility. By politely declining requests that overextend you or expose you to toxicity, you protect your mental health and uphold your integrity. Another key aspect of setting boundaries is knowing when to distance yourself from certain individuals. This doesn't mean you have to cut people out of your life entirely, but limiting your interactions can be beneficial. If someone consistently brings negativity into your space, reducing the time you spend with them or avoiding specific topics of conversation can help mitigate their impact. For instance, if a coworker always gossips, steer conversations towards neutral subjects or focus on work-related tasks. Maintaining mental boundaries is equally important. This involves safeguarding your thoughts and emotions against the influence of toxic behavior. Practice self-reflection and mindfulness to become aware of how others affect your mood and thoughts. When you detect negative patterns, employ techniques such as visualization or positive affirmations to reinforce your mental defenses. Picture a protective barrier around you where negativity bounces off without penetrating your inner peace. This mental imagery can be a powerful tool in preserving your emotional well-being. Moreover, creating a supportive environment at home or in personal spaces can act as a sanctuary from external negativity. Fill your surroundings with items and activities that bring you joy and relaxation. Whether it's a cozy reading nook, a meditation corner, or simply spending time in nature, these spaces can provide a much-needed retreat from the stresses of toxic interactions. Lastly, seek out relationships that respect and uphold your boundaries. Engage with people who understand and support your need for personal space and emotional well-being. These positive connections reinforce your boundaries and provide a counterbalance to any negativity you may face. Marcus Aurelius knew the value of companionship and mutual respect, emphasizing that true friendships are built on shared values and support. In summary, setting boundaries effectively protects your mental and physical space from the detrimental impact of toxic individuals. By clearly defining your limits, practicing assertiveness, and maintaining supportive environments, you can uphold the Stoic virtues of wisdom and tranquility, ensuring that your well-being remains intact. The sixth practice involves drawing inspiration from Marcus Aurelius' own life by looking at a historic event where he demonstrated these Stoic principles in action. One notable example occurred during the Marcomannic Wars, a series of conflicts between the Roman Empire and various Germanic tribes. Despite being in a position of supreme power, Marcus faced constant challenges from hostile tribes, internal political strife, and even an outbreak of plague that decimated his army. In the face of these overwhelming adversities, Marcus Aurelius remained steadfast and composed, applying the Stoic principles he so deeply believed in. During this tumultuous period, Marcus consistently exemplified emotional resilience and rationality. For instance, when dealing with treachery within his own ranks, Marcus chose to pardon those who conspired against him rather than seeking vengeance. He understood that their betrayal stemmed from fear and a lack of inner virtue rather than any personal animosity towards him. By maintaining his composure and offering forgiveness, Marcus protected his own peace of mind and upheld the Stoic virtue of justice. In another instance, Marcus faced the challenge of leading his troops through harsh and unforgiving conditions. The enemy was relentless and the morale of his soldiers was low. Instead of succumbing to despair or reacting impulsively, Marcus used the principle of control to manage his own emotions and provide calm, steady leadership. He encouraged his soldiers by reminding them of their duties and the greater good they were fighting for. His calm demeanor and rational approach not only helped to stabilize the situation, but also inspired his troops to endure and persevere. Moreover, Marcus demonstrated the art of not taking the bait when dealing with provocations from enemy leaders. Faced with taunts and psychological warfare meant to provoke a rash response, Marcus chose to remain unfazed. He saw these provocations for what they were: tactics designed to disrupt his strategy and morale. Instead of engaging in a fruitless exchange, he focused on making rational decisions that would best serve his campaign and his men. One particularly poignant moment was when the Roman army was on the verge of defeat, and prayers were sent to the gods for rain to quench the soldiers' thirst. A miraculous storm did arrive, which rejuvenated the Romans and demoralized their opponents. Marcus, rather than crediting divine intervention, saw this as an opportunity to remind his troops of the importance of inner fortitude and rational preparation. He encouraged them to remain resilient and disciplined, knowing that their strength came not from external circumstances but from their own determined efforts and unity. These historical examples illustrate how Marcus Aurelius applied the Stoic principles we have discussed: control, emotional resilience, and rationality in real high-stakes situations. By looking at his life and decisions, we can see that these principles are not just theoretical concepts but practical tools for navigating our own challenges. Whether we are facing toxic people in our personal lives or broader adversities, Marcus Aurelius' example teaches us that maintaining our inner peace and rationality is the key to overcoming any obstacle. The seventh practice involves practicing patience. When dealing with toxic individuals, Marcus Aurelius emphasized the importance of patience and calmness. Patience is not just about waiting for things to get better, it is about maintaining your composure and inner peace even when circumstances are challenging. Imagine a stormy sea where the waves are crashing violently against a small boat. If the sailor panics and reacts impulsively, he risks capsizing the boat. However, if he remains calm and steers the boat with steady hands, he has a better chance of navigating through the storm safely. Similarly, when confronted with toxic behavior, reacting hastily or emotionally can escalate the situation. But by practicing patience, you can keep your composure and make wiser decisions. Marcus Aurelius often reminded himself to accept that people will act according to their nature, and that it is within his control to respond with patience and understanding. He viewed each encounter with a toxic person as an opportunity to practice patience and strengthen his own virtues. For example, when a colleague or friend repeatedly exhibits annoying or harmful behavior, instead of reacting with frustration or anger, you can choose to pause, breathe deeply, and respond in a measured and composed manner. This not only preserves your own peace, but also prevents the situation from deteriorating further. Practicing patience also involves letting go of the need to immediately resolve every conflict. Sometimes the best course of action is to simply observe and allow things to unfold naturally rather than forcing a resolution. This approach can often lead to more thoughtful and constructive outcomes. Furthermore, patience is about understanding that change and improvement take time. Whether it's dealing with a toxic person or striving for personal growth, progress is often gradual. By cultivating patience, you can embrace the journey and remain motivated even when immediate results are not visible. Reflecting on the teachings of Marcus Aurelius, we can see that patience is a form of strength. It requires inner resilience and self-control to remain calm in the face of adversity. By practicing patience, we align ourselves with the Stoic virtues of wisdom and temperance, and we become better equipped to handle the challenges posed by toxic individuals. In essence, patience allows us to rise above the negativity and maintain our focus on what truly matters, ensuring that our actions remain guided by rationality and virtue. The eighth practice involves focusing on your response. Inspired by Stoic philosophy, Marcus Aurelius teaches us that while we cannot control the actions of others, we have complete control over how we respond to them. This principle is crucial when dealing with toxic people. Often, their behavior is designed to provoke a reaction. By strategically choosing our response, we can maintain our tranquility and avoid being drawn into their negativity. One effective strategy is to pause before responding. When you feel provoked, take a moment to breathe deeply and collect your thoughts. This brief pause allows you to shift from an impulsive reaction to a more thoughtful and measured response. For instance, if someone criticizes you unfairly, instead of immediately defending yourself or retaliating, take a moment to consider the situation and respond calmly. You might say, "I appreciate your feedback, but I see things differently." This type of response demonstrates self-control and keeps the interaction respectful. Another strategy is to use rationality as your guide. Marcus Aurelius believed that reason should govern our actions. When dealing with a toxic person, try to detach from the emotional aspect of the encounter and analyze it logically. Ask yourself, what is the most constructive way to handle this situation? By focusing on rational problem solving, you can diffuse tension and navigate the situation more effectively. Additionally, you can choose to respond with kindness. Toxic people often expect hostility or defensiveness in return for their negative behavior. Responding with kindness can disarm them and shift the dynamic of the interaction. For example, if someone speaks to you harshly, replying with a calm and kind remark like, "I understand you are upset, how can we resolve this?" can often de-escalate the situation and foster a more positive dialogue. It is also beneficial to set a clear intention for your response. Before you engage with a toxic person, decide what outcome you desire. Do you want to resolve a conflict, assert a boundary, or simply disengage? Having a clear intention helps you stay focused and respond in a way that aligns with your goals and values. For instance, if your intention is to maintain peace, you might choose to respond with silence or a neutral statement, avoiding any escalation. Another important aspect is to avoid taking things personally. Marcus Aurelius reminds us that people's actions are often a reflection of their own struggles and not a measure of our worth. By keeping this perspective, you can respond to toxic behavior without feeling personally attacked. Instead of internalizing their negativity, recognize that it is their issue and not yours. Lastly, practice empathy in your response. Try to understand where the toxic person is coming from and what might be driving their behavior. Empathy does not mean excusing their actions, but it can help you respond in a way that is compassionate and non-reactive. For example, if a coworker is consistently negative, consider that they may be dealing with personal issues. Responding with empathy might look like, "I notice you're having a tough time. Is there anything I can do to help?" In summary, focusing on your response is about exercising self-control, rationality, and kindness in the face of negativity. By pausing before reacting, using reason, responding with kindness, setting clear intentions, not taking things personally, and practicing empathy, you align your actions with Stoic virtues. These strategies not only protect your inner peace, but also promote more constructive and harmonious interactions with others. Marcus Aurelius' teachings remind us that our power lies in how we choose to respond, and by mastering this, we can navigate even the most challenging encounters with dignity and grace. The ninth practice involves using reasoning to diffuse conflicts. Marcus Aurelius was a firm believer in the power of logical thinking to navigate challenging situations. When dealing with toxic people, applying reason can help you see through their actions and respond in a more effective manner. Logical thinking enables you to step back from the emotional turmoil and view the situation objectively. For example, imagine you are in a heated argument with a coworker who is spreading false information about you. Instead of reacting with anger or defensiveness, use reasoning to assess the situation. Calmly gather the facts and address the issue with clarity. You might say, "I understand there has been some misinformation. Let's look at the details and clarify what actually happened." This approach not only diffuses the tension but also shifts the focus to a constructive resolution. Another practical example is when a friend or family member is constantly negative and critical. Instead of letting their comments affect your mood, use reasoning to understand their behavior. recognize that their negativity may stem from their own unhappiness or insecurities. By logically assessing the situation, you can choose to respond with understanding rather than taking their words to heart. For instance, you might say, "I see you're upset. Is there something specific bothering you that we can talk about?" This response shows empathy while maintaining your emotional balance. Additionally, when faced with someone trying to manipulate you, reasoning helps you to see through their tactics. Imagine a scenario where a colleague is trying to undermine your efforts by spreading rumors. Instead of engaging in a confrontational or defensive manner, analyze their motivations and the overall context. You might address the situation by saying, "I noticed there are some rumors going around. Let's discuss any concerns directly so we can clear up any misunderstandings." This logical approach not only neutralizes their attempt to manipulate, but also positions you as a rational and composed individual. Marcus Aurelius also teaches us to use reasoning to manage our own emotions in the face of provocation. When someone insults you or tries to provoke a reaction, take a moment to reflect on whether their words genuinely reflect your character or values. Often, you will find that their comments are more about them than you. By logically dissecting their behavior, you can maintain your composure and choose not to be affected by their negativity. For example, if a stranger criticizes you harshly, rather than feeling hurt or retaliating, remind yourself that their opinion does not define you. You might think, "Their words are a reflection of their own issues, not my worth." This reasoning helps you detach from the negativity and preserve your inner peace. Furthermore, apply reasoning to find common ground in conflicts. When two parties are in disagreement, logical thinking can help identify shared interests and foster collaboration. For instance, if you and a colleague are at odds over a project approach, use reasoning to discuss the pros and cons of each perspective. You could say, "Let's evaluate the benefits and challenges of both methods to determine which is best for our goals." This rational discussion not only diffuses the conflict but also encourages a more cooperative atmosphere. Lastly, reasoning helps you set realistic expectations and boundaries. When dealing with toxic people, it's important to recognize that you cannot change their behavior, only your response to it. By logically setting boundaries, you protect yourself from their negative influence. For example, if someone habitually disrespects your time, calmly explain your limits by saying, "I value our interactions, but I need to ensure we respect each other's schedules. Let's agree on a time that works for both of us." This clear and rational communication reinforces your boundaries without escalating the situation. In summary, using reasoning to diffuse conflicts involves stepping back from emotional reactions and applying logical thinking to navigate challenging situations. By assessing facts, understanding motivations, managing your own responses, finding common ground, and setting realistic boundaries, you align your actions with Stoic virtues. Marcus Aurelius' teachings remind us that logical thinking is a powerful tool in maintaining our inner peace and achieving constructive outcomes, even in the face of toxicity. The 10th practice involves avoiding gossip. Marcus Aurelius offers us timeless advice on staying above the fray of negative talk. Gossip is one of the most insidious forms of toxic behavior. It not only harms the subject of the gossip, but also pollutes the mind of the gossipers and the listeners. Marcus believed that engaging in gossip distracts us from more meaningful pursuits and compromises our integrity. He emphasized the importance of focusing on our own character and actions rather than getting entangled in the shortcomings of others. To illustrate, think of gossip as a fire that spreads quickly, fueled by idle talk and rumors. When we participate in or listen to gossip, we are like the wind fanning the flames, allowing the negativity to grow and spread. Marcus advises us to be like the calm, still water that extinguishes the fire, choosing not to engage in or propagate harmful talk. One way to avoid gossip is to steer conversations towards positive or neutral topics. For example, if a coworker starts talking negatively about another colleague, you can gently redirect the conversation by saying, "I'd rather focus on constructive discussions. What's something good that happened today?" This not only diffuses the negativity but also sets a tone of positivity and respect. Another effective strategy is to simply walk away. If you find yourself in a group where gossip is taking place, excuse yourself and leave the conversation. This sends a clear message that you do not condone such behavior and protect your own mental peace. Marcus teaches us that our time and energy are valuable and should not be wasted on unproductive or harmful activities. Additionally, practice self-awareness and self-discipline to avoid slipping into gossip yourself. When you feel the urge to share something negative about someone, pause and reflect on whether it is necessary or beneficial. Ask yourself, is this kind true and helpful? If the answer is no, choose to remain silent. This practice not only preserves your integrity but also reinforces your commitment to Stoic virtues. Marcus also encourages us to understand the root causes of gossip. Often, people gossip out of insecurity, jealousy, or a desire for social bonding. By recognizing these underlying motivations, we can cultivate empathy rather than judgment. Instead of viewing gossipers as malicious, see them as individuals struggling with their own issues. This perspective helps us respond with compassion and avoid getting drawn into their negativity. Furthermore, promote a culture of positive communication in your circles. Encourage open and honest conversations that build trust and mutual respect. For example, if you are a leader or a team member, foster an environment where constructive feedback is valued over idle chatter. This not only strengthens relationships but also creates a more supportive and productive atmosphere. Lastly, lead by example. Marcus Aurelius believed that our actions speak louder than our words. By consistently demonstrating integrity and refraining from gossip, you set a powerful example for others to follow. Show that it is possible to be engaged and informed without resorting to negative talk. In this way, you contribute to a more positive and respectful environment in line with Stoic principles. In summary, avoiding gossip is about rising above harmful talk and maintaining your focus on personal growth and integrity. By redirecting conversations, walking away, practicing self-discipline, understanding the root causes, promoting positive communication, and leading by example, you align with Marcus Aurelius' teachings. These strategies help you cultivate a more respectful and constructive environment, protecting your inner peace and upholding the Stoic virtues of wisdom, justice, and self-control. The 11th practice involves embracing forgiveness. Marcus Aurelius recognized the power of forgiveness as an essential tool for protecting your inner peace. Forgiveness is not about condoning harmful behavior, but about freeing yourself from the burden of anger and resentment. Holding onto grudges can consume your thoughts and emotions, leading to ongoing distress. By choosing to forgive, you release this negative energy and regain your tranquility. To illustrate the power of forgiveness, imagine carrying a heavy backpack filled with stones. Each stone represents a grudge or resentment you hold against someone who has wronged you. As you walk through life, this backpack weighs you down, making every step more difficult. By choosing to forgive, you gradually remove these stones, lightening your load and allowing yourself to move forward with ease. One way to practice forgiveness is to reflect on the humanity of those who have hurt you. Marcus often reminded himself that people act out of ignorance, fear, or their own unresolved issues. Understanding the reasons behind their behavior can help you see them as flawed individuals rather than enemies. For example, if a colleague undermined you at work, consider that they might be driven by insecurity or a desire for validation. This perspective can foster empathy and make forgiveness more accessible. Another important aspect is to let go of the need for justice or revenge. Marcus Aurelius believed that seeking retribution only perpetuates a cycle of negativity. Instead, focus on your own growth and well-being. recognize that true justice often comes from maintaining your integrity and not stooping to the level of those who wronged you. By forgiving, you break free from this cycle and shift your energy towards positive pursuits. Forgiveness also involves acknowledging your own mistakes and imperfections. Marcus taught that we are all capable of error and that recognizing this can make us more compassionate towards others. When you forgive someone, you are not only freeing them from judgment but also creating space for your own healing. This mutual understanding leads to stronger, more resilient relationships. Practicing forgiveness does not mean you have to forget or tolerate continued mistreatment. It is essential to balance forgiveness with setting healthy boundaries, as discussed earlier. Forgive the person, but clearly communicate what behaviors are acceptable and what consequences will follow if they cross those boundaries again. This way, you protect your peace while maintaining your values. Additionally, engage in forgiveness rituals or practices that resonate with you. This could be writing a letter to the person who wronged you, expressing your feelings and forgiveness even if you never send it. Another approach could be meditation or visualization, where you imagine releasing the negative emotions associated with the person and replacing them with feelings of peace and compassion. Reflecting on the teachings of Marcus Aurelius, we see that forgiveness is deeply connected to wisdom and rationality. It enables us to rise above our immediate emotional reactions and embrace a more enlightened state of being. Forgiving others allows us to reclaim our power and focus on what truly matters, aligning our actions with the Stoic virtues of wisdom, temperance, and justice. In summary, embracing forgiveness is about releasing the weight of resentment and fostering inner peace. By understanding the humanity of those who hurt you, letting go of revenge, acknowledging your own imperfections, setting boundaries, and engaging in forgiveness practices, you protect your emotional well-being. Marcus Aurelius' teachings remind us that forgiveness is a powerful act of self-liberation that aligns with Stoic principles, enabling us to navigate life with grace and resilience. Let's take a moment for a quick recap of the smart ways we've discussed so far on how to deal with toxic people, inspired by the wisdom of Marcus Aurelius. First, we defined toxic people and understood their behaviors from a Stoic perspective, recognizing that their actions stem from a lack of inner virtue. Next, we embraced the principle of control, learning to manage our reactions and choose calm, rational responses to negativity. Then, we talked about not taking the bait, avoiding engagement with provocations, and maintaining our peace. We built emotional immunity by fortifying our inner selves through mental fortitude and daily reflections. We also set clear boundaries to protect our emotional and physical space, ensuring that others' negativity does not encroach on our peace. We drew inspiration from Marcus Aurelius' own life, looking at historical events where he exemplified Stoic principles in action and practiced patience to keep our composure in the face of provocation. We focused on our responses to toxic behavior, using rationality and kindness to navigate interactions. We used reasoning to diffuse conflicts, assessing situations logically and maintaining our emotional balance. We avoided gossip, steering clear of harmful talk and promoting positive communication. And finally, we embraced forgiveness, releasing the burden of anger and resentment to regain our tranquility. By implementing these 11 practices, we align with Stoic virtues and protect our inner peace, navigating life's challenges with wisdom and resilience. The 12th practice involves mindfulness practices. Inspired by the teachings of Marcus Aurelius, mindfulness is essential for staying present and centered when dealing with toxic people. Mindfulness involves being fully aware of the present moment without judgment. It helps you to stay grounded and maintain your inner peace despite external negativity. One effective mindfulness practice is deep breathing. When confronted with a toxic person, take a moment to focus on your breath. Inhale deeply through your nose, hold for a few seconds, and then exhale slowly through your mouth. This simple exercise helps to calm your nervous system and brings your focus back to the present moment. Marcus Aurelius often emphasized the power of observing one's thoughts and emotions without getting attached to them. For instance, if someone is being particularly negative, instead of reacting immediately, take a moment to observe your own emotional response. Recognize feelings of anger, frustration, or sadness as they arise, but do not let them control your actions. This detachment allows you to respond more rationally and thoughtfully. Another powerful technique is mindful observation. When interacting with a toxic person, pay close attention to their words, tone, and body language. Instead of interpreting their actions as personal attacks, observe them objectively. This helps you to understand their motivations and respond in a way that is measured and composed. For example, if someone is raising their voice or using harsh words, recognize that this behavior often stems from their own inner turmoil rather than something you have done. By observing mindfully, you can avoid getting drawn into their negative energy. Additionally, practice gratitude to stay centered. Marcus Aurelius often reflected on the things he was grateful for, even in challenging times. At the end of each day, take a few minutes to write down things you appreciate, no matter how small. This practice shifts your focus from negativity to positivity and strengthens your emotional resilience. For instance, you might be grateful for the support of a friend, a beautiful sunset, or a moment of peace during the day. Mindfulness meditation is another valuable practice. Set aside a few minutes each day to sit quietly and focus on your breath or a specific mantra. By regularly practicing mindfulness meditation, you train your mind to stay present and calm amidst chaos. Marcus Aurelius himself meditated on Stoic principles to reinforce his inner tranquility. For example, reciting a mantra like "This too shall pass" can help you maintain perspective during stressful interactions. Grounding exercises are also beneficial for staying present. When you feel overwhelmed by a toxic encounter, practice grounding by focusing on your senses. Notice what you see, hear, smell, taste, and feel in the moment. This sensory awareness anchors you in the present and prevents your mind from being overwhelmed by negative thoughts. For example, if someone is criticizing you, focus on the sensation of your feet touching the ground or the sound of your own breath. Lastly, embrace acceptance as part of your mindfulness practice. Marcus Aurelius taught that accepting things as they are without resistance is key to maintaining inner peace. When dealing with toxic people, accept that you cannot change their behavior, only your response to it. This acceptance reduces stress and helps you to stay centered. For instance, if a colleague is habitually negative, accept that this is their nature and focus on how you can protect your tranquility rather than trying to change them. In summary, mindfulness practices are powerful tools for staying present and centered when dealing with toxic people. By engaging in deep breathing, mindful observation, gratitude, mindfulness meditation, grounding exercises, and acceptance, you align your actions with Stoic virtues. These practices help you to maintain your inner peace, navigate negativity with grace, and remain focused on what truly matters. Inspired by Marcus Aurelius, these mindfulness techniques enable you to handle life's challenges with wisdom and resilience. The 10th practice involves seeking constructive feedback. Marcus Aurelius emphasizes the importance of discerning between helpful criticism and harmful comments. In our interactions, especially with toxic individuals, it is crucial to know when to listen and when to tune out. Constructive feedback is meant to help you grow and improve, while toxic comments are often aimed at undermining your confidence and sense of self. Imagine you are a sculptor working on a masterpiece. Constructive feedback is like a chisel that helps refine your work, making it better and more polished. In contrast, toxic criticism is like an unnecessary sledgehammer that only seeks to destroy. To navigate this, develop the skill of filtering out the noise and focusing on feedback that is genuinely intended to help you. One way to seek constructive feedback is by identifying trustworthy sources. Marcus Aurelius often reflected on the advice of wise mentors and peers who shared his values. Surround yourself with individuals who demonstrate integrity, wisdom, and a genuine interest in your growth. These are the people whose feedback you should seek and value. For example, if a colleague consistently provides thoughtful and balanced critiques, their feedback is likely to be constructive. Another strategy is to evaluate the intent behind the feedback. Ask yourself whether the person offering criticism is doing so out of a genuine desire to help you or from a place of negativity. Constructive feedback is usually specific, actionable, and delivered with kindness. In contrast, toxic comments often appear as vague, overly harsh, or delivered with a tone of hostility. For instance, if someone says, "You always mess up projects," it is likely toxic criticism. Whereas, "I noticed a few areas in your project that could use improvement," such as, is more constructive. Additionally, focus on feedback that aligns with your goals and values. Marcus Aurelius believed in staying true to one's principles and purpose. When receiving feedback, consider whether it helps you move closer to your personal or professional goals. Constructive feedback should provide insights that resonate with your values and help you improve. For example, if your goal is to enhance your leadership skills, pay attention to feedback that offers practical advice on communication and decision-making. It is also important to practice active listening when receiving constructive feedback. Show appreciation for the person's effort to help you and seek clarification if needed. Ask questions to understand the specifics and how you can apply their suggestions. This not only helps you gain valuable insights, but also demonstrates your willingness to learn and grow. For instance, if someone provides feedback on your presentation skills, ask them for examples or tips on how to improve. On the other hand, when dealing with toxic comments, it is essential to protect your mental and emotional well-being. Marcus Aurelius taught the importance of maintaining control over your reactions and not allowing others to disturb your inner peace. When faced with toxic criticism, practice detachment. Recognize that such comments are often a reflection of the other person's issues rather than your own shortcomings. By tuning out these negative remarks, you prevent them from affecting your self-esteem and focus on constructive growth. Moreover, develop a mental framework to process feedback objectively. Imagine a filter that separates useful information from harmful noise. When you receive criticism, consciously evaluate its validity and relevance. If it is constructive, integrate it into your improvement plan. If it is toxic, acknowledge it but do not internalize it. In summary, seeking constructive feedback involves discerning between helpful and harmful criticism. By surrounding yourself with trustworthy sources, evaluating the intent behind the feedback, aligning it with your goals, practicing active listening, and protecting your mental well-being, you navigate interactions with wisdom and resilience. Inspired by Marcus Aurelius, this practice helps you grow constructively while maintaining your inner tranquility, ensuring that you build on positive insights and tune out negativity. The 11th practice involves seeking mentorship. Throughout his life, Marcus Aurelius consistently sought guidance from wiser individuals. He understood that learning from mentors who embody the virtues and wisdom he aspired to can significantly enhance one's personal growth and ability to handle toxic people. Seeking mentorship is about acknowledging that we don't have all the answers and that there is immense value in the experience and insights of others. A mentor can provide you with a different perspective, help you navigate challenges, and offer support and encouragement along your journey. For example, consider the story of Marcus Aurelius and his mentor, Junius Rusticus. Rusticus was a Stoic philosopher who greatly influenced Marcus, teaching him the importance of rationality, control of emotions, and adherence to Stoic principles. By seeking Rusticus's guidance, Marcus was able to deepen his understanding of Stoicism and apply its teachings more effectively in his role as an emperor. This mentorship not only fortified his inner resilience, but also equipped him to deal with the complexities and toxicities of political life. When looking for a mentor, seek out individuals who exemplify the qualities and values you wish to develop. These might be people who have demonstrated wisdom, emotional resilience, and integrity in their own lives. Look for mentors who are not just successful in their endeavors, but also possess the moral character and insight that align with Stoic virtues. For instance, if you aspire to remain calm and composed under pressure, find someone who has a track record of handling stressful situations with grace and effectiveness. Another important aspect is the willingness to learn and be open to feedback from your mentor. Marcus Aurelius approached his mentorship with Rusticus and others with humility and a genuine desire to grow. He was open to constructive criticism and eager to learn from their experiences. Adopt this mindset in your mentorship relationships by being receptive to advice and feedback, even if it challenges your current ways of thinking. This openness allows you to gain more profound insights and grow more holistically. Additionally, mentorship is a reciprocal relationship. While you seek guidance, also think about what you can offer in return. This could be your enthusiasm, a fresh perspective, or a willingness to support your mentor in various ways. By contributing to the relationship, you foster a deeper connection and mutual respect, which enhances the mentoring experience for both parties. For example, if your mentor is engaged in a particular project, offering your help or insights can demonstrate your appreciation and commitment to the relationship. Furthermore, apply the lessons learned from your mentor to your interactions with toxic people. Mentors can provide strategies that have worked for them, helping you to navigate similar situations more effectively. For instance, they might offer techniques for maintaining composure during confrontations or ways to assert your boundaries without escalating conflicts. By adapting these strategies, you can handle toxic individuals with greater confidence and skill. It is also beneficial to regularly reflect on the guidance provided by your mentor. Marcus Aurelius often meditated on the teachings of his mentors, integrating their wisdom into his daily life. Maintain a journal where you note down key lessons and advice from your mentor. Reflect on these notes regularly to internalize the guidance and apply it consistently. This practice not only reinforces your learning but also helps you to stay aligned with the Stoic virtues. Additionally, do not hesitate to seek out multiple mentors for different aspects of your life. Just as Marcus learned from various philosophers and leaders, you can benefit from the diverse perspectives and expertise of different mentors. Each mentor can provide unique insights and support, enriching your overall growth and resilience. For example, you might have one mentor for professional development, another for personal growth, and yet another for maintaining emotional well-being. In summary, seeking mentorship involves looking for guidance from wiser individuals who embody the virtues and wisdom you aspire to develop. By finding mentors who align with your values, being open to feedback, contributing to the relationship, applying learned strategies, reflecting on their guidance, and seeking out multiple mentors, you enhance your ability to handle toxic people and navigate life's challenges with wisdom and resilience. Inspired by Marcus Aurelius, this practice not only supports your personal growth, but also strengthens your connection to the Stoic virtues of rationality, wisdom, and inner peace. The 12th practice involves developing empathy. From a Stoic perspective, empathy is about understanding others' perspectives without necessarily agreeing with them. Marcus Aurelius emphasized the importance of recognizing that everyone has unique experiences and struggles that shape their behavior. By developing empathy, we cultivate a deeper understanding of why people act the way they do, which is crucial when dealing with toxic individuals. Imagine empathy as wearing a pair of glasses that allow you to see the world from another person's viewpoint. This perspective helps you comprehend their motivations and the root causes of their behavior. For example, if a colleague is consistently negative, consider what might be happening in their life that fuels this negativity. They might be dealing with personal issues, stress, or insecurity. By understanding these underlying factors, you can respond with compassion rather than frustration. One practical way to develop empathy is through active listening. When interacting with a toxic person, focus on truly hearing what they are saying without interrupting or judging. Pay attention to their words, tone, and body language. This attentiveness not only makes them feel heard, but also gives you valuable insights into their emotions and thoughts. For instance, if someone is venting about a problem, acknowledge their feelings by saying, "I understand that this situation is really tough for you." Another technique is to practice putting yourself in their shoes. Whenever you find yourself negatively reacting to someone's behavior, pause and imagine how you would feel if you were in their situation. Ask yourself, what might this person be experiencing right now? This mental exercise helps shift your perspective from judgment to understanding. For example, if a friend snaps at you unexpectedly, consider that they might be under significant pressure or facing a personal challenge. Additionally, cultivating curiosity about others can enhance your empathy. Show genuine interest in learning about their background, experiences, and viewpoints. Ask open-ended questions that encourage them to share more about themselves. This curiosity fosters a deeper connection and helps you understand the complexities of their behavior. For instance, you could ask, "What has been on your mind lately?" Or, "Can you tell me more about what's been challenging for you?" Reflecting on your own experiences can also build empathy. Think about times when you behaved negatively due to stress or personal struggles. Recognize that others might be going through similar situations. This reflection helps you to realize that everyone has moments of weakness and that extending empathy can create a more supportive environment. For example, recalling a time when you felt overwhelmed can help you empathize with someone who is currently struggling. Moreover, Marcus Aurelius encourages us to see the shared humanity in others. He believed that recognizing our commonalities helps us to foster a sense of connection and compassion. Remind yourself that everyone, including toxic individuals, is part of the human community and deserving of empathy. This mindset shift can transform how you interact with others, promoting kindness and understanding. For example, if someone is acting out of fear, acknowledge that fear is a universal human experience and respond with empathy rather than condemnation. It is also important to balance empathy with self-care. While understanding others' perspectives is crucial, it does not mean tolerating harmful behavior. Set clear boundaries to protect your well-being while maintaining empathy. For instance, if a family member is consistently disrespectful, empathize with their struggles but also communicate your need for respectful interactions. This balance ensures that your empathy is constructive and does not lead to self-sacrifice. In summary, developing empathy involves understanding others' perspectives and recognizing the experiences that shape their behavior. By practicing active listening, putting yourself in their shoes, cultivating curiosity, reflecting on your own experiences, seeing shared humanity, and balancing empathy with self-care, you align with Stoic virtues and navigate interactions with compassion and wisdom. Inspired by Marcus Aurelius, this practice helps you handle toxic people with grace, fostering a more empathetic and harmonious environment. The 13th practice involves finding your tribe. Marcus Aurelius understood the importance of surrounding oneself with supportive and like-minded individuals. Just as a plant thrives in nutrient-rich soil, we flourish in environments where we are supported, encouraged, and understood. Finding your tribe means building a network of people who share your values, offer constructive support, and uplift you in your personal and professional life. Imagine a garden where every plant grows stronger because of the healthy ecosystem around it. Similarly, being part of a positive and supportive community enhances your resilience and well-being. Your tribe provides a safe space for you to express yourself, share your challenges, and celebrate your successes without fear of judgment. One way to find your tribe is to actively seek out communities and groups that align with your interests and values. Whether it's a professional organization, a hobby group, or a community centered around personal growth, these environments are fertile grounds for forming meaningful connections. For instance, if you are passionate about Stoic philosophy, joining a local Stoicism discussion group or an online forum can introduce you to like-minded individuals who share your interests and values. Another approach is to nurture existing relationships that are positive and supportive. Reflect on the people in your life who have consistently been there for you, who understand and respect your values, and who encourage your growth. Make an effort to strengthen these bonds by spending quality time together, offering your own support, and expressing gratitude for their presence in your life. For example, you might organize regular meetups with friends who share your passion for self-improvement and mutual support. It is also important to distance yourself from relationships that drain your energy or consistently bring negativity into your life. Marcus Aurelius teaches us that our well-being is greatly influenced by the company we keep. If certain individuals constantly undermine, criticize, or belittle you, it may be necessary to reduce your interactions with them. This doesn't mean you have to cut ties completely, but setting boundaries and limiting exposure to negative influences is crucial for maintaining your inner peace. Additionally, be open to forming new connections. Sometimes your tribe includes people you have not yet met. Attend events, workshops, or social gatherings that interest you, and be open to engaging with new people. Approach these interactions with genuine curiosity and an open mind, allowing authentic connections to develop naturally. For example, if you attend a seminar on emotional resilience, take the opportunity to network with attendees who share your interest in personal growth. Moreover, foster a culture of mutual support within your tribe. Marcus Aurelius believed in the importance of reciprocating the support and kindness he received. Offer your help, encouragement, and understanding to others in your tribe, creating a positive and nurturing environment for everyone involved. For instance, if a friend is going through a tough time, lend a listening ear and offer your support. This reciprocal dynamic strengthens the bonds within your tribe and ensures that everyone benefits from the collective support. Lastly, remember that finding your tribe is an ongoing process. As you grow and evolve, your needs and interests may change, and so might the composition of your tribe. Stay open to new connections and continuously seek out environments that foster your growth and align with your evolving values. In summary, finding your tribe involves surrounding yourself with supportive and like-minded individuals who uplift and encourage you. By actively seeking out communities that share your values, nurturing positive relationships, distancing yourself from negative influences, being open to new connections, and fostering mutual support, you create a positive ecosystem that enhances your well-being. Inspired by Marcus Aurelius, this practice helps you build a strong support network, ensuring that you navigate life's challenges with the encouragement and understanding of your tribe. In summary, these 13 smart ways to deal with toxic people, inspired by Marcus Aurelius' Stoic wisdom, provide us with practical strategies to preserve our inner peace and navigate life's challenges with grace and resilience. Imagine incorporating these principles in your daily life, creating a bubble of tranquility and strength around you, impenetrable by negativity. Remember, it is not the external events that disturb us, but our judgments about them. By embracing Stoicism, you take control of your own responses, practice patience, set clear boundaries, and foster empathy. These actions not only protect your mental and emotional well-being, but also enhance your ability to handle adversity with wisdom and composure. Picture yourself becoming a beacon of calm in a stormy sea, guiding your interactions with toxic individuals not with anger or frustration, but with rationality and compassion. As Marcus Aurelius himself demonstrated, the power to maintain your inner tranquility lies within you. Implement these practices and you'll find yourself growing stronger, more resilient, and more aligned with the virtues of wisdom, courage, justice, and temperance. So take these teachings to heart and let them transform how you deal with toxicity in your life. Thank you for watching. If you found this video helpful, please like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell so you never miss an update. Remember, you have the power to create a peaceful and resilient life, one enlightened response at a time.